Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are joining us from. We're here today with Mitch Kranitz from Print Partner. Hey, Mitch, how are you today?
What's up, Scott? I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Actually, I'm doing fantastic. So I'll change the great to fantastic.
Well, that was great. It's always a treat to see your face. It's been a while since we connected. So it's thanks for
Yeah,
having me on.
yeah. No, I always like having you on. Plus, I know you have good food and good taste in food. So we shared a good lunch not too long ago. Had some sushi. Another brother of sushi lover that I like. So
Yep. And a fellow Tesla lover. You
that's right.
showed me the autopilot on the Tesla, and I had my invisible brake pressed in the car as it's coming to the corners. I'm like,
well, are you still enjoying yours?
oh man, yeah, it's a dream come true. That car is such
not,
a treat.
Not sad you don't have to go to gas stations now, huh?
That's kind of cool. And I haven't had as much fun driving a car since I was like 20. And maybe that talks about the kind of cars I drive, but I think it's just because I think this car is super fun to drive.
It is quite a fun experience. And I think both yours and mine have gone up in value since we bought them.
Yep. Yeah, well, but I'm leasing, so mine's going back to the robot factory, the robot herd later.
I gotcha.
Yeah, man.
Well, it's nice to have things go up in value, but the thing about it, if you sell it, you've got to spend even more to buy another one and replace it. So I'm not sure how that fits in, but all right. Well, an easy way for an IT business owner to acquire and buy a Tesla is by partnering up with Print Partner and and getting some awesome revenue stream from those managed print deals.
That's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. You want a Tesla this year? Start referring your customers to Print Partner, and man, you'll have that by December, I promise. And if we can't meet that agreement, Scott said he'll buy one for each of you that we don't make it for.
I don't know about that part, but tell us why Print Partner is a good thing for an MSP or an IT business owner to partner up and team with.
Yeah, well, thank you. Today I really just want to focus on trust. There are three core components of Print Partner. One of them is trust, another is collaboration, and another is revenue, and trust / protection. And today I just want to talk about trust. So I was an MSP for 20 years. I built and sold two different MSP. In around 2011, I partnered with a company called Green Office Partner, and that's the company that owns Print Partner. And the owner of the company came to me and he said, "Hey, man, can I sell print to your customers?" And I was like, "Oh, I hate copier people." I was like, and I was like, "Fine, if you promise, as long as you don't give me a reason not to introduce you to my customers." Sure. And he gave me the same deal that Print Partner gives. He paid me $250 for every intro. He'd pay me $1,000 for every device that was sold to a customer of mine. And I got recurring revenue, 5% revenue on the every year for the print allotment. So great, it worked. I didn't know that what I was doing at the time though was a smart move. I was just like, in my mind, I was like, I got a print vendor that's in place, and if the more people that sign up with them, my front line is going to know that they can work with this consistent vendor over and over and have better support and all that stuff. But what I recognize today after Print Partner was established is that you look out in the MSP marketplace and let me just ask you, Scott, who's your BDR vendor?
Who is our BDR? Well, right now we actually, for backup disaster recovery, use Datto.
Yeah. And who's your antivirus?
We have several that we work with. We've been a long time MZSoft fan too, though.
Okay. And then for switches, you got a preferred vendor there?
We actually like Ubiquity.
Yeah. And same for firewalls.
We just can't get our hands on them right now.
Yeah, right. Hey, I can get some deals on some stolen, some backlog. No, I'm kidding. And then you have a preferred firewall vendor, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, we do. We're looking at actually we are trying to migrate over. We have been Sonic Wall
Yeah.
UTM providers for a long time, years.
Yeah.
But we are starting to look at up level systems too. They're an ITBOG sponsor, so we've been using their products internally here and really like it. So
Awesome. I've heard good things about them too.
yeah,
But my point is, when somebody asks you, about those things, you've got a solution. You
yep,
know who you're working with. But if a customer says to you, "Hey, what should I do about this copier?" What do you say? Well, now I know what you say. But what did you
yeah.
say 2 years ago?
Well, before I knew about Print Partner and the services here, we pretty much didn't even. We would say, hey, let us refer you to a local company that sells printers.
Yeah.
We don't deal with it. We don't even like fixing them or anything like that. So
No. And that's exactly right. I mean, that's it. MSP have solutions for everything in their tech stack, and print isn't in the tech stack, but it is close enough. It's kind of peripheral, but it attaches to the network. It's a pain point. We all know, front lines, how much they love print. That support call comes in, they're like, "Hey, I'm getting some gibberish on this page and I can't get it." There goes, 15 minutes to half an hour of your time, and possibly, L2 has to get onto the print server and figure out why the driver is doing the thing. And half the time it's not even your equipment. The customer's buying the device, another third-party vendor drops it off. And so what we're saying, basically, it occurred to me after I created Print Partner, or as I was building, I was like, why don't MSP have a preferred print vendor? And I say this, and I say this all the time in the MSP community: partner with somebody, partner with us. I would love it, right? Talk to Print Partner, let us do the things that we do. Let us protect you, let us collaborate with you on support, let us pay you for the stuff. But if you don't partner with us, at least find somebody local that you can work with that will provide you some agreement that they're not going to try and snipe your client, that they'll pay you for the stuff, and that they'll collaborate with you so that you're not left holding the bag when support things come up. And so
because so many local print vendors they don't care about your business and your clients. They want to take your clients. They're actually trying to get into the MSP realm as well, so they can offer a one solution for their customers. We'll take care of your managed IT as well, and then that kicks us out.
Yeah. Well, that's a fantastic point, and that's that's the trust. That's like core to the trust. And one of the biggest things that we talk about, so like at all the managed print services, community meetings, and the events when they have stuff in Vegas or wherever, and also like the publication magazines. I don't know if you can see it, but like even here on the cover, they talk about how these companies are growing by adding managed print or managed IT MSP services. So if you were to go to a print conference right now, which I know it sounds thrilling, but if you could go to one right now, you would see there's a whole industry of people that are trying to get managed print vendors to start adding on and managed services, because print's on a decline. These companies are freaking out because they've got this huge infrastructure of salespeople, printer repair people, this, that, and the other, that they have to pay for, and then huge overhead, warehousing, this, that, and the other. And as the dollars start to drop, they're like, what are we going to do? We got to do something. There's a huge industry of people that are willing to help managed print vendors now turn into managed service providers. So what happens? We know what happens. They either buy an MSP and they plug it into their company and they start feeding all of their print customers into that, or they try and stand up an MSP in-house, and we've seen the results of that too. And in either case, it's usually they're not building an MSP with the customer's technical need at heart. It's just a revenue channel for them. MSPs that are pure MSPs, or MSPs that have learned to adopt print secondary, but where MSP services are primary, those are the real MSPs. Those are the people who love MSP. They dig the engineering. They love providing the solutions. When you're adding it on as an ancillary service, as a print services vendor, it's an afterthought, and you're not going to do a great job for the most part. So
no, that's a valid point. It absolutely is a valid point. So, I guess the ultimate, sense of caring about the IT infrastructure overall. It really goes back from the print vendor. It's going to go back. Everything revolves around the printer versus everything revolving around what's best for the client's IT needs.
Yeah.
I think that's a very valid point there, Mitch.
Yeah.
So I had a deal not too long ago, and unfortunately, I did not get it. But I tried really hard, and I wanted to talk with you about something that came up in my mind. It never came up from the client, but I just wanted to get your opinion on this and how you feel like this would be better suited and tackled in the next job that we try to get Print Partner involved with.
Yeah.
So we had an opportunity come up where we had a client that was on the fence about a commercial printer. They weren't sure that they needed to take that next step into the commercial versus the $400 or $500 HP desktop.
Yep.
So I was thinking that they did and was trying to sell it. And I got the client involved. But one of the things, when I made the introduction to your team, one of the things that I mentally struggled with is we are here in Columbia, South Carolina.
Yep.
We are not in Chicago.
Yep.
My client is here in Columbia, South Carolina. We certainly have print vendors here that only do print. So when my client came to me and hit me up for a proposal and, hey, Scott, can you help us with this? That was my open door, and we did it. But one of the things that I struggled with was, how do we get the client to, because when you sell something, you've got to be 100% mentally on board with what you're selling. And I am always been on board with you because I believe in what you're doing and what Print Partner's doing. But one of the things that I struggled with, and I wanted to talk with you a little bit about it today, was how do I portray that when I'm reaching out to my client? There was one question that I struggled with mentally myself, and I think it came through and ultimately might have hurt my deal. Why are we dealing with a company in Chicago? Why are we first reaching out to Chicago versus someone here in Columbia, South Carolina? How can you help me overcome that?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'll first say I love that you brought that deal our way, and I know Mark really enjoyed working with you. And,
Yeah.
I mean, you followed the playbook perfectly. You get an A+ for the intro. Like, you registered it, you got it in. You worked with Mark. You made the introduction. Thank you so much for that. As far as the question of like, hey, what about like all these local vendors? Well, there's a couple of different things that you could respond with. First, I guess I would say to you is that we've got clients, Green Office Partner, based out of Chicago, who owns Print Partner. So Print Partner is just it's a front. It's just a marketing arm for Green Office Partner to connect with MSPs and just let them know, hey, we're here, we side with you. Green Office Partner, the company that owns Print Partner, has customers in all but 2 states. We operate in Hawaii, we operate in Alaska. There's just right now 2 states that we don't have any customers in. Other than that, we've got thousands of devices that we're managing all over the country, and we do operate. Our headquarters is in Chicago. We benefit, we depend on our partner networks, the partner networks that we have with HP or with Xerox and with HP. And so when service is needed, it's reps, badged employees from those companies that will show up at your customer locations with parts in hand, and they're following an SLA. 4 to 24 hour on-site from the time that parts replacement or any on-site service is required. So the tech is going to show up not to point a screwdriver at it and be like, oh, yep, it's broke, but they're going to show up with parts in hand, provided that it's not stuck in the Suez Canal.
Like everything else right now.
Right. So that's one thing that I would keep in mind as you're thinking about working with Print Partner and making that introduction. The other is, I would say, don't think about where we're at. If they say, hey, how come they're not in Chicago? You can just say, well, these guys work nationally. They have a nationwide service network. I would just remove that from the equation or from the dialogue and focus more on, instead, this is our preferred print vendor. And these guys, it doesn't matter where you're at, they can take care of you. But the language that I've used in the past, or that we recommend, is just, and also, you don't have to sell anything. Right. All you have to do is just say this. If you hear the pain point, hey, our print contract's about to expire, or hey, we're opening up 5 new locations, and we need to talk about print. Or even if they don't say anything about print, but you hear 5 new locations, your cue is to be like, oh, we've got a preferred print vendor. Would you like an introduction to talk to them? And then if they find out that they're, that we're based out of Chicago, well, do they question that, the dado devices that you're putting in your client? Do they mind that
That's
they're
right.
in Connecticut? Do they mind that Sonic Wall's out of Texas, or if Dell owns it, whoever owns it now? So I would make it a non-question, but it's awesome that you brought that up, because I wasn't thinking about
Well,
that.
I think I did. In all honesty, I think that I did not make it a point. I didn't discuss that, but I just remember when I was composing the email to make the introduction, I remember thinking, how am I going to get around this, or why, because it was one of those things I was mentally trying to satisfy my own mind.
I would position towards the benefits. You'd say, well, they're our preferred print vendor. You definitely don't want to tell them that you're getting paid to make the introduction. They're my preferred print vendor, and they collaborate with us on support.
Sure.
Whereas any other print vendor that you work with, your frontline gets the call from your customer, and your customer's like, hey, XYZ is wrong with the printer. Your front line's like, okay, we'll do the simple stuff. Can't figure it out. Okay, we'll open up a ticket with your print vendor. They call up the print vendor. Hey, print vendor, we got an issue with this customer, XYZ. That print vendor is like, okay, we got you. We'll take care of it. What happens to it? It goes into a black hole. Your customer calls you back 2 days later saying, what the hell? I called you guys 2 days ago, and the printer problem isn't. And you're just like, one, it's not my print device. We didn't install it. It's another vendor stuff. We're just triaging it, but still we're going to eat shit because they're not doing it. So it's like, all right, I'll call them back up. And then you call up, and then you get rough with the print vendor, or not rough, but you get a little more like, hey, I need you guys to do the thing. And then they call the customer. But with us, you're part of the triage. If there's a support request, sure, they're going to call you first. They can call us first too, but we're going to collaborate with you and help make sure that the issue.
So the MSP is included, where if you go with a local print vendor, they're just going to fix it, and you're not going to be involved unless your customer tells you what they're doing.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I'll summarize. So our taglines are partner with a print partner you can trust. Right. We want to be that partner for MSP across the country. And when we do screw up, when stuff falls off the rails, hopefully you can trust that our response to that is going to be as positive as possible. And our other tagline is just stop letting random print vendors in your client environment.
I love it.
We're not saying it has to be us. It doesn't have to be us. Just be cognizant. Who are these people that are coming in to work with your customers? If you think that let's say you've got 100 customers. Out of those customers, you could guess you have probably at least 50 print vendors in there.
Maybe.
Is that a fair number?
Yeah, if you do a lot of commercial clients, absolutely.
Yeah. And out of those 50 print vendors, how many of them do you think are MSPs?
Maybe
50 to 75% of them is my guess.
Okay.
That's my guess. What would you guess?
I don't know. That space more than me, so I wouldn't even want to begin to guess, but I'll take your word for it. Definitely. I know that, we've talked about that in the past, how the print partner or the print vendors, your local print vendors, are trying to take your clients.
Yeah.
Bottom line, they are.
Yeah. So that, the thought is this, like, if you at least try to drive that dialogue with your customer and get them aligned with a print vendor that you trust, whether it's us, whether it's somebody local, it doesn't matter. Just own it and know that you're going to have the security of not having, because the managed print services companies, they've got huge sales teams. Those sales teams, they can just say, you know what, let's start selling MSP this month. And they'll go along on the QBRs and they'll do all this stuff. And next thing you know, they walk by the server room and they say to your customer, hey, server room's looking a little wily. What's going on? Is anybody paying attention? They start chipping away and eroding the trust that you've established over the past 5 or 10 years.
Yep.
And most MSP's response to that, to me, is that our client relationships are so fantastic that they would never leave us for another for somebody else. And that's probably true. But it doesn't mean that MSP is not going to swing, some numbers past your customers, say, hey, this is how much, and then they might negotiate price with you, or that might erode the trust. It's just like, why even have that? Why let a fox operate the janitorial services in a hen house?
That's a good point. That's a good point there.
I think I just compared printers to janitorial services. I don't know if that was a good move or not, but.
Well, I don't know. I have a couple other things, especially when I'm fighting with printers, that I could compare them to. But a lot of it requires me to throw the printer out the window. So
Yeah, that's totally reasonable. But that's basically it. That's really what I wanted to hit on today, Scott. And
all right.
was talking about that, the trust and just owning that piece, and if you could profit from it at the same time, awesome.
It's a win, because in all honesty, I mean, Print Partner Green Office Partner is going to come in and they are going to offer your customer a really good deal. And the deal's not going to be any better whether you're involved or not. So why not get a little bit of recurring revenue off of that?
When you're looking for another job, if you decide that you want to sell IT Business Owners Group for millions of dollars and you're looking for your next thing, let me know. We'd love to have you.
Absolutely. We'll do that. Well, Mitch, what is the best way if an MSP or an IT business owner is watching now and they want to get involved and start funneling these printer sales and support jobs over to Print Partner? What is the best way they can get in touch with you?
Fantastic. You could go to www.printpartner.biz.
Okay.
It's a really simple concept, and we're trying to just continue to make it easier and easier for folks to work with us. But the website has all the details. There's there's like 3 pages on it. One is how does it work, and it lays it all out for you. You can read through and see it. There's nothing I can't that it hasn't shared with you that I'd be able to tell you. And then if you like it, you can click sign up in the top right-hand corner.
Okay.
That'll get you. It'll take you 5 minutes. There's no commitment. There's no promises other than we sign a 100-year non-compete with MSP saying that the only thing we'll offer your customers are print and print workflow. And then we've got solutions. So we also do like paper cut. We can get those devices scanned directly to SharePoint. We can do, all kinds of security, document management, all that stuff too.
All the latest tech, because I think Print Partner specializes in HP and Xerox, right? Are those 2 brands?
That's exactly right. We lead with Xerox and fill the gaps with HP. Yep.
Okay. Well, that sounds great. And is the landing page still up? printpartner.biz/ITBOG?
It is indeed.
All right. So if you want to, if you're interested and want to let Print Partner know that you got their information from our live stream today, just go to printpartner.biz and /ITBOG. So
thank you so much, Scott.
No problem. Mitch, it's always a pleasure. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Likewise, man. Be well.
All right. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Take care.